Hey Gemini, what's up? My name is Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things spirituality. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment on this video if it just so happens to resonate with you. Today we're going to take a look at the person that's on your mind. Let's get into it, Gemini. Four of Swords reverse, you can't stop thinking about possibly a Libra or a situation that didn't quite work out in your favor, possibly to do with the court system or a relationship that ended in either divorce or someone you were married to with the Ten of Cups here. Someone that you did have a beautiful connection with. I feel like this connection was, you guys celebrated a lot together, and what I mean by that is I'm kind of envisioning like you guys went on a lot of holidays together. I'm not British. You guys went on a lot of trips together. I wish I was British. Strength card reverse, you could be dealing with a Leo. Six of Swords reverse. At this time, this person is not wanting to move this forward into anything meaningful. They're trying to release this at this time with the Two of Swords reversed. Page of Swords, they still keep an eye on you though. They're still extremely curious what you're up to. Again, with the Four of Swords here, I feel like you guys are matching energy. You can't stop thinking about this person. They can't stop thinking about you and looking at your pictures. I don't think that you know this though. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Be careful that this person is not giving to multiple people without you knowing. If you are in contact with this person, just be a little bit wary of that thing. That may be, you know, this person's MO is what I'm getting. This person may have an MO of sort of going out there and chasing whatever they can find, whatever they find via a viable option for themselves, right? But they don't really think about your emotions when it comes to that with the Seven of Swords here. Could be dealing with a life path 7, someone born on a 7 day. This person's they're not acting how you thought that they would, and it could be due to financial struggles here that they're really trying to overcome. They do feel an extremely strong soul connection with you though. I'm getting, for a lot of you, this person, even though they are deeply attracted to you, they may have player ways that they just can't, they're having a lot of trouble getting rid of. I wouldn't be surprised if the Devil card came out. They're having a lot of trouble sort of leaving their old ways in the past. They do feel a very strong connection with you though when it comes to friendship. This person feels a bond with you that is very, very strong at a soul level. At a soul level. But I do feel like the more you don't walk away from this person, the more you can feel the universe sort of holding you back from what you're meant for. Yeah, Knight of Cups reverse. This person's not coming forward with a love offer. I feel like they're emotionally pretty closed off. And then we have the Eight of Wands reverse. This person could have just got really bad news of some sort. They could have gotten bad news. Maybe it threw a caveat in this connection. They don't want to fight with you, though. They don't even want to talk about sort of how they're feeling. This is very much someone who avoids the hard conversations that they sort of need to have, and they know that they need to have these hard conversations, but they're very willing to ignore that a lot of times. What is this person's intentions towards Gemini? Six of Wands reversed with the Knight of Swords. They want to communicate with you, but with the Six of Wands reversed, they don't feel like they're good enough. They don't feel like they stand out. They want nothing more than to communicate with you, to come in fast, but they don't feel like they're either pretty enough, handsome enough. They don't feel like they're good enough in some way, shape, or form for you. And I don't feel like it's anything that you've done, Gemini, to make this person feel this way. I think this person just suffers with some low self-confidence. And to make up for that, they could very easily slip into this toxic energy of the Queen of Swords reverse and be very, very harsh with the way they speak. So they could be an air sign, a fellow air sign, or a fire sign I'm seeing. But with the Queen of Swords reverse, it's like when just because this person doesn't feel good enough, not just for you, but for pretty much anybody. This person could be a loner, they could be extremely indecisive. But with that Queen of Swords reverse, it's like when someone like pokes the bear too many times, and by the bear essentially meaning this person's self-confidence. When someone pokes at it a little too much, this person has a tendency to sort of lash out verbally is what I'm getting. They could be extremely indecisive as well. Could be dealing with a Libra. But they are seeing you. They do know your value. They know your value. They just don't feel like they're good. Like, they actually see like a future with you. They would want to have possibly children with you. They really see the bigger picture here. And then we have the Two of Cups again. So not only does this person feel a strong bond and connection with you, I feel like you feel that same way for them. This person could have acted impulsively, though, with the Fool card reversed, Ten of Swords reversed. They could have acted very impulsively at some point, and that put you in a lot of deep pain. And the reason they may have acted impulsively is just simply due to this self-confidence issue. They don't feel good enough. So they get into this Queen of Swords reverse energy. They leave this Two of Cups energy, this beautiful, not just friendship, but this beautiful connection that you both have. It's like they'll leave that. They feel scorned. They don't feel good enough. So this person really needs to work on raising their vibration and raising their self-confidence levels. What is the advice for Gemini regarding this person? I just saw the Two of Cups again. You guys have a very, very strong bond for many of you. The advice is do not ignore any red flags. I'm also getting for some of you, you've dealt with a really toxic past energy that really, really sort of reminds you of this person. This Queen of Swords energy reverse, and then we got the Five of Swords reverse. There's a little part of you that feels like this person reminds you of someone from your past. That doesn't have to be a romantic partner either. It could be a sibling or just a friend, somebody from your past. And you're afraid that they're going to do the same things to you. So that's a little bit of a fear of yours, but yet you have this person, number one, has a lot of emotions for you. They're very confusing because they have a lot of emotions for you. They do see happily ever after, but this person hasn't done the shadow work on themselves to feel good enough to actually take this connection all the way to this King of Cups, to actually be emotionally vulnerable. This person has a very, very hard time being emotionally vulnerable. Could be dealing with an Aries. I feel like when they have a hard time opening up, they slip into the Emperor reverse energy, which is essentially like alpha, aggressive energy, but like a little too aggressive, a little bit too alpha. This person really tries to overcompensate for their addiction issues. So what's the advice for Gemini? I knew it. I told you guys the Devil card was probably going to come out. And it came out, unfortunately, with the Queen of Cups reverse. So what I'm getting from that, yes, this person has a very, very hard time breaking cycles in their lives. Patterns, addictions, those kinds of things. So this self-confidence issue that this person is facing, it's very, very difficult for them to break it. They have a very challenging time. You could be dealing with a life path 9 or somebody born on a 9 day. 9s in numerology typically struggle quite a bit to overcome addictions or patterns that they are not necessarily healthy for them. And then with the Queen of Cups reversed here, I feel like you may be a little bit emotionally codependent on this person, right? When they reach out, it makes you feel elated. When they don't, you feel, oh, what did I do wrong? I'm not good enough. You slip right into that low vibration. When they reach out, you go into a high vibration. That's being codependent. You need to learn, and not you need to learn, we all need to learn. This stuff is so hard to put into practice in real life. I know, it is. But essentially what the advice is here for you is try to just be happy and whole on your own, without this person, without any person. Try to get to a vibration standpoint where you are so happy and content on your own, you don't need anybody, because when you reach that level of detachment, it really helps it does. The universe will. It doesn't just help. That's how it works. The law of attraction. When you detach, the universe will call in exactly what you detached from. It's so weird, and it goes so against our human nature here on Earth. But if you can learn to sort of manipulate the energy, not the person, manipulate the energy, and really understand that the key to manifesting anything is to detach and just be happy where you're at and keep your vibration high no matter what, no matter who leaves your life, no matter who comes into your life. You know, it goes both ways. Try not to get too elated, too sad. We want to stay right here. And a lot of time, it's really easy when someone comes into our life and makes us feel really good, raises that vibration, because it's exciting, it's fun, it's fulfilling in the beginning stages usually. As soon as that sort of first few months wears off, that newness, it can be very easy to slip into a low vibration. So the advice for you here, Gemini, is to really stay even keel no matter what, because you can't change this person. All you can do is really control yourself and your own vibration. That is the only thing that we have control over. So that's the advice, is really try to keep a great vibration regardless of what happens with this person. In a lot of ways, the best way to sort of stay right here in a high not even here, middle vibration, we want to be in a high vibration, right? The best way to stay here no matter what happens to us is to focus on our passions, what our life purpose is. If you can figure that out, and a lot of times numerology will tell you exactly sort of what you're here to do. If anybody wants a personal reading, go ahead and email me at the link in the description box. But numerology a lot of times, and astrology too, but basically numerology I get mostly. Numerology supersedes astrology, but they both work. They both intertwine together to sort of create us as a human, our soul, our spirits. They're coated with energy. Anyways, I'm tangenting off. If you can figure out what it is that you're passionate about and use it to contribute to the world by helping other people raise their vibration, so if you're adding positively to the world, that is a really great way to stay up here. And a lot of times when we add what we know to the world, or we're out there helping people, we're rewarded financially, we're rewarded by our person coming into our lives, but sometimes the universe won't bring those things that we're trying to manifest into our lives until we're actually living what we're called here to do. So really ask yourself what that is, because that's going to help you stay in a high vibration. So if Gemini, as long as you try to figure out exactly what that is for you, I see a really happy future here regardless of what happens with this person. That is what I have for you. Hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys next time.